Welcome to our court helicopter explainer, still on the dancing king, the king of the Tanzanian song, Fala. Fala means mujinga. Fala means a zombie. Fala means somebody not intelligent. Fala means somebody who is a dwarf emotionally. Fala in Kiswahili ni zuzu, mtu ambaye haelewi, mtu ambaye hajui. Ule mzee aliweka roho yake kwa mapenzi, akatoka kama fala. He walked out empty-handed. So, court helicopter looks at the legal issues, the jurisprudence behind what we saw. The dancing is fantastic. The emotions on his face is telling. The pain of what he's undergoing. You can see him pouring out his pain from his heart. What will he do? Will he go to a mganga? If it was in Kenya, what could he do? Can he go to Kitu? Can he go to Kambani? Can he go to mganga wa Tanzania? You have seen all over. Every rural village, you get a poster mganga kutoka Tanzania, mganga kutoka Iringa, mganga kutoka Tanga. All this, is it an option to solve this matter? What about if it was you? Can you go and look for the traditional witch doctors to get this person? If it was in Nigeria, they could go for the juju. What is the law on witchcraft? Do you know in Kenya, there is a law called the Witchcraft Act? Many of our followers, when we did the teaser, were saying Wakili was joking. Yes, the Kenyan law, it is not in Tanzania. The Kenyan law, look, the Kenyan frame is there. It is the Laws of Kenya Witchcraft Act, Chapter 67. My friend, it was revised in 2012. So this law is there. If you think we don't have an act that deals with witchcraft, today you know. Now, let us see what the law says. If we can advise this mzee to go to the witches, to go to the sorcerers, to go to they're called the night runners. This act says, if your woman akikufanya fala, akugonge, then you go for witchcraft. As very many people are saying, ile gari nilimunulia, nitaenda nipate kamote, itagonga akiteremuka Kimende, akiteremuka akipita Rivachania, akipita Mombasa Road, pwa, the vehicle collapses. Ile nyumba nilimununulia, nitachukua juju, ita collapse. What does the law say? Section 2 says a person pretending to exercise witchcraft, hule mganga unayemwendea akufanyie ile kazi. What does the law say? Any person who holds himself out as a witch doctor, able to cause fear, annoyance, or injury to another in mind, person, or property, or who pretends to exercise any kind of supernatural power, witchcraft, sorcery, or enchantment calculated to cause such fear, annoyance, or injury shall be guilty of an offence and liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years. If you go and get a witch doctor, and the witch doctor dances those enchantments, those, unaona wanaruka juu, the trances that they do, and they scare or they harm, or they kill, that witch doctor that you have hired will be jailed for 5 years. Why do you want somebody to be jailed for 5 years? Or why are you, the witch doctor, doing what you're doing? Do you know if you are arrested for practicing witchcraft, you go in for 5 years? That is section 2. Section 3, witch doctor supplying advice or article for witchcraft with intent to injure. So you go to this witch doctor, he gives you an advice. He issues you with some charm. He issues you with a love potion. Every time you are seducing this beautiful girl, she refuses you. She rejects you. She has no time for you. Then you decide, you go and get an hirizi. You get something, either you put in your mouth when you are seducing her, the words that come out of your mouth are lovely. She loves you. Or you get something you put in a love potion. This woman you have been looking for, you get an hirizi, a love potion. Or you get something to go and injure that woman who has taken all your money. There's a woman who has made you look a fala, a pumbavu, so that you don't go singing like our dancing king, Mzee Kibore. What does the law say in section 3? Any person professing a knowledge of so-called witchcraft or the use of charms who advises any person applying to him how to bewitch or injure persons, if he advises you how to bewitch or how to injure persons or animals or other property, or who supplies any person with any article purporting to be means of witchcraft, if he purports to give you anything, he shall be guilty of an offence and liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years. That person who gives you those charms, that person who gives you an advice, if arrested and convicted, he'll go in for 10 years. Remember, people go to lawyers to get legal advice. People go to doctors to get medical advice. People go to accountants to get KRA and tax advice. There are people then who go to witch doctors to get witchcraft advice. If you go to a witch person or a wizard to get that advice, if that guy advises you or gives you anything to that is a treatment to your problem. You know, sometimes the witches will tell you, inua mkono yako, anaangalia how your palms are, mara anakwambia fungua macho, anaangalia ndani, anakwambia wewe naona utakuwa president of the Republic of Kenya. So those witches will tell you what you want to do, especially when the university students want to pass their exam, wanaenda pale, they get a certain thing to give them an advantage over the others. If that person is found, he will go in for 10 years. Then number 4, persons using witch medicine with intent to itch. The medicine that you get from hospital is intended to cure you. But when you go to a witch doctor, the medicine that you are going to pick is to injure this woman who you have paid for school fees, who you have bought a car, who you have bought jewelry, who you have taken to trips all over, who you have invested all your hard-earned money. You want to injure her. You cannot go dancing like Kibore. You can't dance it out. You want to injure that woman. What does the law say? Section 4, any person who, of his pretended knowledge of so-called witchcraft with intent to injure, uses or assists to use may be calculated to cause fear, annoyance, or injury in mind, person, or property to any person shall be guilty of an offence and liable to the same punishment as provided in Section 3. He will go in for 10 years. Can you imagine? 10 years. 5. Possession of charms as an offense. Now, those who are offenses against the witchcraft. What about you? What about you? It says, any person who is in possession of a charm or other article usually used in the exercise of witchcraft, sorcery, or enchantment for the purpose of causing fear, annoyance, or injury to another in mind, person, or property, shall be guilty of an offense and liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 1 year, or to a fine not exceeding 1,000 shillings, or to both. So if you go after you have been made a fala, after you have made a poor, useless man, dancing like our dancing king, Mzee Kibore, and you get that with an intention to hurt that woman, if you are found with it, you go in for a term not exceeding 1 year, or to a fine amounting to 1,000 Kenya shillings. Then it moves on to say, charging persons with witchcraft. Any person who accuses or threatens to accuse any person with being a witch or with practicing witchcraft shall be guilty of an offense and liable to a fine not exceeding 500 shillings or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years. Have you called somebody a witch? Can you call that woman that she's a witch? She bewitched Mzee Kibore. If you go calling her a witch, my friend, that, leave alone defamation, you'll be charged under Witchcraft Act and you'll be fined 500 shillings or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years. Then the question is, if you are found to be a witch, if we say that woman is a witch, she used charms on Mzee Kibore, or if you, who has been made a fool, who has been made a fala, decides to go for witchcraft, and the county commissioner discovers that you have charms, or the chief, area chief, finds you that you have a charm. How many of you have charms? How many of you have those hereses? Listen, my friend, you might be chased from your home with the order of the chief. What does the law say? When it is reported to the county commissioner that a person is suspected of practicing witchcraft, the county commissioner, after due inquiry and having satisfied himself that the person so suspected causes or is likely to cause fear, annoyance, or injury in mind, person, or property to any other person by means of pretended witchcraft, may, for reasons to be recorded, order, you can be order, the county commissioner or the chief can order the person to be suspected to reside in any other locality within his district to be named by the county commissioner, and alternatively, or in addition, to report at the office of the county commissioner every 7 days or at longer intervals until further notice. Can you imagine? The chief can order you report every 7 days to his office. If the chief thinks or has reason to believe that you are practicing witchcraft. 2, you can be ordered to move from your home and go to live in another place, but within the location or within the county. They used to call it Siberia. In Russia, people could be expelled and taken to Siberia because they were unwanted people. During the Mau Mau times in Kenya, Those who were arrested were removed and taken to other places where they cannot be together with their families. Wakili Dan Sanumari is telling you, even if you have made a fala, just like Mzee Kibore was made a fala, don't go to witchcraft. The punishment is so bad. The punishment is terrible. We have told you, you risk 10 years. You risk 10 years if you go for witchcraft. What is the solution and what is the remedy? We have given you, it is the Kenyan courts. If you have been made fala by your girlfriend, if you have been made a fala by the lady that you think you have educated, the lady that you think you have invested financially, heavily, don't go to the witchcraft side. Go to an advocate. The advocate will go to the Kenyan courts, and the Kenyan courts will recover that money from you. Wakili Dan Sanumari always bringing it to you. Even witchcraft, can you imagine? Did you know that? My crew, Bramwell says, this, he cannot trust me. He must go to look for it at the Kenya law reports. He can't. And very many Kenyans, I'm sure, are shocked that we have a law called the Witchcraft Act. And that is the law that we are talking about. Don't go for witchcraft because your woman has taken property from you. Wakili Dan Sanumari saying, me, I'll never go for witchcraft. Instead, I'll go to the dancing floor and I'll kata ngoma yangu like Mzee Kibore. Wewe ngoma ndizo hizo tutakuwa tunazikula, but no witchcraft. For the young people, for the old people, our advice from Court and Copter is avoid using sorcery, witchcraft to deal with a woman when you have been made a fala. Keep watching. More episodes are rolling.